Survive one time for your mind. Survive one time for your mind. Survive one time for your mind.
Welcome to Sunbeast Live. I'm Adrian Valente with Sunbit, and if you're one of our dealership partners, you're in the right place. Happy Wednesday, March 11th, and thank you so much for making the time. This is our weekly educational live cast to help trained and certified Sunbeasts like you continue your education to build your comfort and confidence using Sunbit with your customers on your service drives. For those of you that are new to Zoom events, we have a couple of controls for you to participate in the conversation, ask us questions, and share how you're feeling. For those of us that are here on Zoom events, if you're using your Sunbeast mobile app, you get rewards points for making the effort, and you can always catch these episodes simulcast on YouTube and later published to Spotify same afternoon. And because we cover different topics each week, if you need help or want to schedule team training or get marketing refills or anything like that, reach out to success@sunbit.com and they can help you with all that stuff. And of course, it's all complimentary, doesn't cost you anything extra. And then of course, on Wednesdays, we are joined by show producer and co-host. Please welcome to the program, Quinita Brown. Quinita, how are you?
Just kidding.
Good to see you. Okay.
I'm great. You're like, hello. Anita, how are you? Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday.
Boy, we got a jam-packed episode with a very special guest today because we are in the middle of celebrating 10 years with Sunbit. It is, hold on a second, actually, let me cue up some music here and get us ready to celebrate. Okay, hold on a second. We got the Elite Escape. If you're not familiar, if you've been following along with all the cool stuff happening in the land of Sunbeast, because we're celebrating 10 years with Sunbit, we're putting together our own version of a President's Club for the 15 top performing Sunbeasts and 5 lucky random Paradise picks. And all you need is to do a minimum of 10 Sunbits between March 2nd and May 30th for your chance to get into the Elite Escape. Am I missing anything there, Quinita?
Elite Escape, going to Hawaii. Just one. Let's go.
With a guest.
Yes.
It's going to be a good one. I saw Thomas Yadrin in the chat like, what, 10 years? Yeah, 2016 we were founded. And this is going to be a big one. So top 15 performers plus 5 random Sunbeasts, 20 from dental, 20 from auto, all 40 with their plus ones are going to Honolulu, all on Jason's dime. And not Jason. Oh my gosh. What did I say? I saw Jason Seiler in the chat and I was like, Jason's paying for it. No, but that's why today we have a very special episode. Joining us today is a Hudson Auto Group award winner from last year. Kache Hannay was not only an advisor previously at Stonecrest Honda, just moved over to Greensboro Honda, and she's joining us today to put on an absolute clinic. Please welcome to the program, Kache Hannay. Oh my goodness.
I'm also just
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here in the middle of your workday on a busy service drive, and you're tuning in. Let's see chat. Hello, everybody. Hello. We got a lot of folks from all around the country joining us from their dealership service drives. And but before I get ahead of myself, maybe Kache, you could do like a quick introduction. Tell us a bit about yourself and your history in auto.
Sure. Well, let's get to it. First of all, it is an honor to be here. I have a personal love for you guys and everybody in chat, even if I don't know you. Looking forward to getting to everybody. It's going to be very exciting. Big hellos in all caps, Tyree. I'm in the same mood. We're going to make this fun. So a little bit about myself. I am Kache or Kirsten, whichever one, whatever your flow is. I am 24. I'll be 25 March 20th. So spring baby.
Ooh, birthday season. We got a lot going on. That's pretty exciting.
It's pretty fancy. Thank you. So 24, going on 25. Been in the automotive business for a couple of years, but service just celebrated my 1 year. Riding service from Stonecrest Honda, moved to North Carolina. So definitely been having a blast. I've been a big car person forever, and I wanted to get a little bit more into it on the personal side. And being in service is just about one of the best things I've ever done personally. other than cars, big nerd in all aspects. So love animals. We've got a couple of Maine Coons, big gamer. So any gamers that are in chat, I am massively into all of them. So just a big nerd overall, and just happy to be alive and happy to keep it going. So it's a little bit about myself.
What
I
game
feel
are
like
you
we're going to
really
see
into?
the gamer names. Yeah, haven't we had an
Ooh,
episode where
Cash
people
might be a
started
little
putting their
bit of a-
names?
Yeah, game wise, every console we've owned them since I was a kid. My dad wanted to have boys, and had 4 girls, and that's fine. So he
4
kind of
girls.
pushed the idea of games over to us, and I started off on the Atari Jaguar. I've been playing games ever since then. Right now, I'm really big into all of the God of War series. So love Kratos, love everything about all the games, but big into big adventure, action based. I say a little bit of some shooters, so a little bit of Call of Duty, but really get my hands on anything. So just love to play.
How do you feel about that news of God of War hitting a TV series? I think it was Amazon. They got that
Oh
first
my
look.
goodness. I'm praying they do just as good of a job as Last of Us, because if they don't do it well, I'm going to be sad. And the Borderlands too, that's another really big one that I'm looking forward to. So I'm hoping they play it well. The Fallout series was pretty good, so I will be seeing how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm so not a gamer because the Fallout's a video game?
Yes, based on
Fallout
a
is
video
a
game.
I had no
So,
idea.
yeah.
Tony's bringing up something interesting. Sorry, I'm late dealing with all the shattered windshields and huge dents from tornadoes last night. Jeff, Twisted Metal, another
I love
video game.
Twisted Metal. I actually played Twisted Metal when I was a kid.
Oh, that's a good one. That's an excellent fit.
So I'm actually curious. I'm gonna sorry to be a poopy head and switch gears into work stuff because we're talking about video games, which I would love to do the entire episode. But this brings up something interesting. It might be a good way for us to kick off some tips. So, Cash, if you got customers who are like,
before we kick off tips,
wait,
I thought I'd keep my lay on because we were just talking about the Elite Escape. I would love to hear Cash, your thoughts.
Just put my lay. I've got my lay.
There's your lay.
My lay.
Before we get into tips, what do you think about the Elite Escape?
Okay, so I found out about this at 2 in the morning because everybody's scrolling through their phone, and I saw the notification for Escape, and I was like, don't know what this is. And as soon as I saw it was from Sunbit, I clicked immediately. And when I read the information, that is all the motivation I needed to do my very best to get into that, because I've never had any company whatsoever, and this is definitely a huge shout out to Sunbit and to you guys as a team. I've never had anybody offer a trip for something as simple as offering Sunbit. I mean, it is a blessing to anybody to have it offered and to work with y'all. So it doesn't take too much, and to be able to go on a trip as a dream as Honolulu. My husband is from Australia and has not been. So this would be a first time for both of us, and we're doing one of these that Lady Luck wants to also buy Sunbit from me, so that I am. But I am excited. It's a great opportunity, and I am hoping that everybody is feeling just as motivated as myself to get on board with this. I hope I get to see y'all there. In theory, I'm going to speak it into existence.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we're so excited you're here because as a Hudson Auto Award winner, it looks like you were on the Service Advisor Walk-Around category, which was what you got recognized for. And I want to pull up some of your stats real quick because you are about to hit your 1-year Sunbeast anniversary. You were certified back on March 19th, 2025. So we're coming up on a year. In like a week. Boy, big month. But in a year, you've already, I was looking at these numbers a couple days ago, so they might not have what you've done the past few days, but 263 customers helped in the past year out of 361 applications. So clearly you're like showing this to at least, one person a day, it looks like.
I definitely try to. It's something that everybody needs to know of, and I want everybody I talk to, and even people I don't, for the word to spread. But see, people can get an opportunity like this. It's a really big deal to me.
Yeah. And the other thing I was really impressed by was your conversion rate, 73%. And for those of you that maybe haven't played around with your Sunbit Business Dashboard, conversion rate measures of all the people that were approved, how many actually used it? So of course you're seeing, 90% approvals, 9 out of 10 get approved, but then 7 of those people end up using Sunbit, which is incredible. You've brought in CP revenue, incremental revenue of over $206,000 just by yourself, which is absolutely incredible. Clearly, you are doing something real special. So we want to learn from you and help everybody out with the Elite Escape. If you got some tips for us, and I know last time we were talking, there were a couple of topics but we got people mentioning that there have been weather incidents, damaging vehicles, making things unsafe. How do you handle conversations with customers when you're kind of navigating crazy weather events or safety issues? Like, what's your go-to to try and ease the stress for customers?
Right. So firstly, before I get into that, I do want to say thank you, everybody in chat, for the congratulations. I'm a little bit of a words of affirmation person, so it definitely means a lot to me, and I will be kicking my little legs about this later. So a good bit of my way of going about it, I find it to be something that's very personal. While other people might see it as installment plans, as a loan agreement, I take all those terms out because it's not about that. It's about you and your car. I know that everybody I work with has that car for a reason. You didn't just pick it. You don't just drive it because it gets you point A to point B. It's because you care about it. And when it comes to talking about Sunbit, like mentioned earlier, I mention it to everybody. It does not matter what you're coming in for. It could just be an oil change, but you don't know what happens later on in the year. You don't know what could happen tomorrow. So one of the biggest things to me is when I'm talking to people about Sunbit and mentioning it, I don't assume what you have going on. I'm not going to assume how you want to cover it. I just know that it's my job as an advisor to advise you on the best way to go about things. And Sunbit is one of those things that just breaks that stress up. It is something that gives you the time you need to do maintenance. That it's not that you don't want to do it, it's that you didn't really plan for it this way, which means I've got another way to opportunity to help you go forward with things I know you want to have done. And it's something that I always offer on the drive. I do scan my own driver's license if I get a little bit of hesitance or someone who's not very comfortable on, oh, well, what's it going to check and does it pull my credit? I simply tell them it's not about your score. It's about what we can do for you. I don't want people to feel as if they have to do certain things, and making it an offer is something that has changed a lot of people's lives regarding what they need to get done. And that's just what it is really about, honestly, in my opinion.
That's amazing.
Look at the chat. Preach.
Yeah, we got some fans. So if you're offering Sunbit as early as the vehicle walk around, you said you scan yourself. What's some of the language you're using when you're talking to customers about this?
So I've got some quirky ones. You'll love the unorthodox of it, and y'all are probably gonna laugh, and you're more than welcome to, but I refer to Sunbit as a grocery list or your grocery aid. So when you go shopping, and this is one of the little stories I tell to most of the customers, when you go into the store, did you intend to buy everything on your notepad, or are you certainly budgeting for things that you know you need to get? So when I'm talking to customers on the drive, it isn't about trying to lump everything into one visit. It is about how, basically, I'd like to say, what's your appetite? What is your budget? What's your mindset? What's your monthly? Because when you come to buy a car, just like in the sales department, you have a monthly payment that you have on mind. So when you're coming in for service, I'm simply asking, what are you in the mood to eat? Or what are you in the mood to really see yourself delegating over the months? So some of the word tracks I use besides grocery list, I say it is cost efficient. Because when you're thinking about coming in, your bill could be maybe $1,500. But the efficiency of going month by month gives you time to have more of a surplus financially, so that you're not sitting here having to fork up $1,500 up front and have to deal with the consequences later on. It is much easier. And another track that I use when I'm talking about the grocery list or that it's cost efficient, it is something that gives you time, and it also gives you peace of mind, because it's not about trying to worry about, well, I need to save up and come back later. We can do it today. And that's when I pull out the license and I'll show them that it is as simple as using whatever your approval is. And even if the approval may not be as strong as you want it to be, it doesn't mean that it doesn't get better. And it is something that constantly helps build your rapport with Sunbit. It's a huge word that I like to tell people, is that you are starting a relationship. and you want to add into it. And when you give, it gives back. And it's something that is long term, as well as always going to be there for you if you need to use it no matter what.
Ooh, I like that a lot. That's pretty strong. Like the grocery list approach probably softens it a bit, so it's not as scary. Sometimes those big numbers, $1,000 here or there, that's a lot of cash for folks.
Cash.
That's a lot of
you
cash.
mentioned-
I'm not too much cash, but maybe you're not in the mood for all of the cash. You can have a little bit of it though.
My mom joke of the day. But Cash, you mentioned building that relationship with them, and I remember when we were talking to you before you joined the show, you talked a lot about being an advisor, and what that means to you and how you use that when you're helping people. Can you talk to us more about being an advisor and making a friend with your customers?
Well, it's in the word, Nita. It is advice. I will actually take my badge. That's another little word track / physical thing. I'll point to it, and I'm very sarcastic with it, but that's what makes people soft. I look at it and I'm like, last I checked, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say sales, it says advisor. So my personal advice to you is blank. It's not about making a sale. It's never supposed to be about that. Even if this said salesperson, it's not about sales. It's about making a friend. It is about somebody you want to see later. I don't want this to just be one transaction. It's not supposed to just be we hit the wallet, we run, and we just don't follow up with you. I want to see you. And I've talked to my customers like we've already known each other. This is something that makes me comfortable because sometimes the approach makes me uncomfortable. I might get a little nervous to bring up that the bill is a 4-digit number or even a 3-digit number. But when you make a friend, you're in this together. I don't want you to feel as if it's just you on your own Sunbit. I will sit there, and while I'm making a friend, we are going to set up the app together. We're going to even make a fun little password that reminds you of how horrible the visit was and try to make light of it. And it's something that will just stick with somebody. You'll go home, and it won't be that you felt like you just were a transaction. You felt like you were an experience, and you want to come back and have that experience. And to be able to have customers that come back and ask me by name, look for me on the drive, and even the rare cases where people won't come in for service unless I'm there, that's what I do the job for. It's not about anything more than just being able to help you out, because I know that in the long run, you'll be happy with the fact that you were able to do it and it was more comfortable for you.
Got a lot of support in chat as well. Denise chiming in. Exactly true. That's what we're here for. Tim, like a financial advisor, you give counsel on making the most of your investment. Well, actually, I was just reading about this. Isn't the average age of a car in America about 13 years old, which is up from 10 years old a couple of years ago? So folks holding on to their cars longer than ever before.
Yeah.
I know, and Hondas do very well. I have a Hyundai with 145,000 miles on it. I'm going to run that thing into the ground, and it's a 2011, so it's definitely of that age. But I'm not alone. I know. So I'm actually curious, Cash. You have all these really great approaches to bringing things up early, how you talk about it, making a friend, using the grocery list approach. But what about pushback or objections for folks? Like, how do you handle that?
This was a good one. I will say, and this was a personal thing that I had because I was a little hesitant to talk about and use Sunbit as personal use. I had a situation come up where I needed to get tires desperately. As of yesterday, I needed tires bad. And it was a pride point. The biggest thing I've ever seen from people is pride, because you feel almost embarrassed that you don't just have it in your pocket, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. And one of the biggest things where I have to step back from my approach and be sure that I am making it about that it's not that I'm judging. It is a self-conscious thing to not just have it at the ready. And so you're coming in here thinking that you've got everything handled, you've prepared for it, and then you get a number with an extra zero. Now you're nervous, you're anxious, you don't know what's going to happen next. And the first thing that people will hit me with, the biggest pushback I've gotten, is that, oh, well, I don't need to use that, I'll just save up for it. And the best approach past that is sometimes not pushing. Maybe Sunbit is not the way to go the day of, but it does not mean that you can't come back in later. One of the biggest things I do whenever I get that pushback where people are like, well, I can just have somebody else do it, or I'll get something cheaper. Sometimes it's price, but in the end, when it comes to Sunbit directly, it's you being upset that you even need to use it in the first place. I tell people it's not a punishment, it's actually an opportunity. You may even have the money. Let's say you do have exactly what's needed today. I don't want you to have to come up with that much. One of the biggest things I will focus on is if a holiday has just passed. Christmas is very recently passed, especially Valentine's Day. As somebody who celebrated their very first year anniversary on Valentine's Day, my wallet is bone dry. So I know that
And your
I'm gonna be
birthday's around the corner.
and the birthday. I mean, they just can't stop racking up all the stuff going on right now. But with that being said, I know that my wallet is bone dry. It's Sahara right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've got Sunbit to help me, and I tell the customers you don't need to worry about trying to come out of pocket for it because instead of needing to put everything forward, you can do some extra stuff you want to do. You'll have that gas money set aside. You'll be able to go and get the Starbucks meal that you know you don't need, but you can get it anyway. And you'll be able to do that when you're able to just use something that helps break your bill up into more, I would say, more digestible chunks, as in better payments that just make it easier than coming forward with it.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you are offering Sunbit so early in the journey for a customer and you get pushback or maybe disinterest, they're just not interested. Do you continue to bring it up later in the journey? Like, what does that look like? Or do you just stop?
Well, best thing to do is not stop because it's never really a red light if you think about it, it's a yellow light. I might have some hesitancy. I might be like, okay, listen, I just want to make sure you're aware that you have Sunbit. It's just an option. I'm actually very nonchalant about it. When I mention it, when I can feel a financial pushback start, I will simply just be like, well, you know, you can just use Sunbit. You already know about Sunbit, right? Like everybody here uses it. The mindset of just making somebody feel like they're in the know already, it's a little funny at the moments, and some people kind of stop and be like, well, what is Sunbit? Or some people already know and they're like, oh, I don't want to use it. Okay, well, why? One of the biggest words that is a huge fear factor for everybody, including myself before I got more comfortable with this, is asking why. Why don't you want to use it? Because in my head, and this is something I'll ask certain customers, depends on the temperature of the conversation. Like, well, I think it's a little silly that you don't want to use it. I mean, isn't it going to help? Because people start to give me the second pushback. The second one I get is, well, I don't want my credit score affected. Well, it doesn't pull credit. We just open the windows, but we don't need to come in the house. And I'll say that, and I'll just wait because the first person to speak loses. And once you've told them that there isn't a loss or there's no, my score is not going to be affected, it's kind of like a standstill at that point where we've both got our guns out. Who's going to shoot first? It's not going to be me because I will wait. So I'm just going to wait and see what you're going to say next because it's kind of a little bit of a tough one to fight back on if it's something that's supposed to be helpful to you. And that's kind of just the way I've always seen it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm
You know,
also
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
lie. If she used that on me, I'd be like, you know what? Forget it. Let's just see. We'll just see. If she would have put me in a corner, then like I'd have just been like, if it doesn't hurt my credit, and
No, it doesn't help.
like I don't really have a reason why, so why not?
Right.
We'll just do it. But if she would have let me go on that first one, then I would have been like, okay, cool, like, and wouldn't have done it. So.
I honestly, if you don't use it, and it's not like everyone's going to, I forgot, I meant to add on, I'll mention it at checkout. I'll be like, are we doing this in cash, card, or Sunbit? Some people will catch themselves and be like, wait a minute, what's Sunbit again? Because I know it goes like this sometimes. That happens. It happens to me. It's just a natural thing. Some people will forget I've mentioned it. It's been a long day. You've got other things going on, and so do I. I'll mention it. No, just cash, card, or Sunbit. I'll just remind you every time. It's just a repeated broken record. And somebody eventually will remember to be like, okay, well, what is it? Or some people will just be like, well, what does it look like? What's the hypothetical? The hypothetical can lead to using Sunbit. You just don't know if you don't ask why.
I really like how you casually bring it up at checkout. Did you want to pay with, cash, card, or Sunbit? I like your talk track, kind of making it your own. We talk about this all the time, and I like how even you mentioned like, oh, remind me again, what is that?
Yeah.
Love that. Let's go into chat real quick. We got a question coming in from Raymond. So people say, I don't like financing, and then they pay with a credit card. Isn't that financing?
Yeah. And then I get I don't like to owe money. And I'm like, aren't you owing money just without the benefit that it's on your own terms and you can pay it off sooner with no penalty? A little silly. and I'll do a little tippy tap. I'll give them a tap, and I'm like, if you think about it, aren't you technically more financially stable doing it this way? And I don't mind a little bit of friendly banter. I used to be afraid to say that. I felt like I was overstepping, but we're already in your pockets as is. We just got to figure out how we're going about it. So had to find my confidence in it, and Sunbit is a huge thing that's actually really helped me with that.
That's great to hear. I'm curious because we saw a couple people mention it in the chat, but you're so strong with your word tracks, how you offer positioning it early, like all the tenets of a top Sunbeast. It's clear why you were a Hudson Auto Group award winner last year for the vehicle rock around experience. So I'm also curious, do you leverage like the pre-qualification link or any other tools in the toolbox?
I do actually. We just recently incorporated being able to send it from the tablet while we write the ticket. Now, I am a little bit more mindful about doing it then, and I do actually focus on sending the pre-qualification link in the middle of sending the multi-point. So at our dealership, I know other ones do it a little bit differently, but while we have the video that the technician makes and we get our whole grocery list, what I'll do is in the middle of sending the multi-point inspection, I will send the Sunbit link as well. So while they've seen what the services are, I'm on the phone with them telling them to pause where they're at and then click the Sunbit link so we can see what they qualify for before we get to pricing. It gives you a sense of security and gives you the comfort of knowing you don't need to face tank what the prices are. You have something to work with, whether you get one thing, two things, or all of it. Getting something is a step forward in the progression of you becoming maintenance compliant.
That was super buttery. My goodness.
Love, love, love.
Raymond's bringing something up. I got a question. Do you have that 0% 3-month option on your tablet with customers that are you leveraging that, or do people prefer the other terms with interest that have lower monthly payments? What does that look like for you guys?
I never ever lead with interest because that is the terrible word. It's people are allergic. I've got an allergy list of word tracks to avoid. And I will say one of the ones I avoid is one that was popped up on one of our little visuals. I do not say month to month. I say pay with Sunbit, because if I'm saying Sunbit by name, not everybody's going to remember that. That leads me into it because month to month is a partial allergy that people have. They don't like that because they don't like to owe money. I tell them that it's not that they're owing, it's their money. They're delegating how they're paying it. One of the biggest things with the no interest plan, that's what I will say. I will just simply say that we have no interest options. I will not mention interest until we're looking at that screen that's got all of the blocks, because they will change their mind then. I don't lead into it. When I'm at the drive and I'm riding up the car, I'm like, you can just pay this with no interest if you want to. Leave it alone. Way too much information sometimes will lead you into putting yourself in a corner when neither one of us need to be in a corner. We're in this together. If I'm mentioning interest, that is a huge thing, as well as the finance word. Thomas, you were right. I almost I don't even like saying it out loud. I don't even want to use it. Do not.
It's not in your vocabulary.
Do not. I don't say month to month. I do not say financing. Do not use the dreaded F word. There's plenty of them, and financing is one of them. We don't talk about it because financing reminds people of financing their car, and most people have not so positive experiences with financing, especially the finance department. I don't want to be linked as finance. I'm advisor. So I don't want you to think I'm doing anything but telling you on my best advice for you. Never the F word, never month to month. You have options. Options leaves it open. And then you can ask me what the options are, and I'm more than happy to tell you what they are.
I love that. It's all about options. Boy,
We're
looking at the time,
now.
My goodness, Quinita, did I miss anything?
We need some words of wisdom. No, so
we have too much fun.
Beautiful. Yeah. Do you have any final words of wisdom for our Sunbeast when it comes to Sunbit and offering or overcoming the fear?
I would personally say, and this comes from not a lot of experience over time, but a lot of growth very quickly, I've learned to make it my way. It's not really about hitting it word verbatim, because sometimes it'll sound beautiful coming out of one person's mouth, but the other one, it might sound forced. I will slightly personalize it based on the person in front of me. In the end of the day, it's not about trying to sell the job. We know the importance of brake jobs. We know what transmission fluid does. We know that the car needs it. It's not about if it needs it. It's about how much do you think it needs it. And if it's about the fact that what's stopping you is price or how to pay, my biggest advice is read the person you're talking to. Let them tell you what their real reasons are. You have to ask why, or you're going to have a gate. And the gate does not open unless you ask why they won't do it and what they want to do moving forward. Not everybody is a Sunbit customer. As much as I would love everybody to have the benefits of Sunbit, I know when not to, because if I mention it and I'm getting a very harsh, I'll pay it out of pocket, or I'll pay on a credit card, or my friend's covering it, it doesn't mean I'm not going to mention it next time. Everybody, I'm assuming, does not know it until you tell them. So my biggest thing is anybody, mention it to anybody. The minimum you can finance on Sunbit is $60. That's an oil change and tire rotation. And that's what most people come in for. So everybody deserves to know about what it is, because you don't know whose life you can change by having them know about what Sunbit is.
Dang.
Hey.
That was buttery. That was fantastic. My goodness. Putting on an absolute clinic for Sunbeast today. This is a good one. If you are looking to get onto the leaderboard for the Elite Escape, make sure you walk away with these tips from Kache Hannay.
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's wrap up with a couple announcements. My apologies for the time, everybody, but you heard it here. You heard it here from a top Sunbeast. What it takes to get into the Elite Escape. You can be one of the top 15 performers between March 2nd and May 30th, and
I still got it.
And then make sure you stay tuned for upcoming episodes next week. It's just me while Juanita is out for spring break. We're going to be going through pre-qualification link deep dives with my tips and guidance there. I'm stumbling over my words. And then I'm out for jury duty the week of the 23rd, and on the 25th, Juanita is going to be doing Sunbit trivia with Kahoot. It's the first Kahoot of the year. And then Juanita.
Win that money, okay?
Get that money,
I'm gonna make it hard for you too.
And then Juanita and I are back in the saddle for the 1st of April. We're diving into your business dashboard so you know how to leverage what is available in your customer offer history report, all the great data and more. You can also catch Sunbeast live recordings on YouTube as we simulcast now on Wednesdays, and we'll have it posted to Spotify within a couple of hours so you can listen to episodes at any time. But thank you, everybody. We had quite the episode today. And Kache, thank you so much for joining us on Sunbeast Live.
Thank you for having me. Happy nice, and thank you guys for joining and chit chat with us. I loved it. I love seeing everybody's comments. Really nice to meet everybody too.
Awesome.
And happy birthday, happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Well, from all of us at Sunbit, thank you so much for being part of the Sunbeast user community, for continuing your education with us and Kache from Hudson Auto Group today. And hopefully we will catch you on the next episode of Sunbeast Live. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your week.
Dance it.
Yeah, we got to dance this one out.